I'm Danny Jacobs. I have the honor and pleasure of serving as Dean of the School of Medicine here for the University of Texas Medical Branch. It's my distinct pleasure to welcome you to the 127th commencement exercises of the School of Medicine. Now, please remain standing, or if everyone will stand, we will have Syncope, our student a cappella group, who will lead us in singing the Star Spangled Banner.
Say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thanks to Syncope, and also thanks to the Chamber Brass Quartet for providing the music for our ceremony. Chaplain Jose Sevillo will now give this morning's invocation. Chaplain?
Let us pray. Dear God, Creator and Sustainer of all, we come before you with thankful hearts, as together we engage in this occasion of celebration, achievement, and accomplishment. We are thankful for the efforts of this institution as they continue to accomplish their vision of achieving international recognition as one of the best medical schools in the United States through building excellence, scholarship, and service together. We gather to recognize the achievements of the graduates of the class of 2017 as they continue to create tomorrow's medicine today, by discovery and application of new knowledge, and by inspiring lifelong learning and clinical excellence. We also gather to commit those who will be engaging in the service of our nation to your care as they are commissioned to perform their assigned duties. We are grateful for the faculty and mentors as well, who, through innovative leadership and a steadfast commitment to scholarship and service, have accomplished another journey of educating and inspiring these graduates who are becoming skilled physicians and scientists dedicated to lifelong learning within a diverse population in which these graduates will continue to serve. We are especially grateful for the families and friends present and absent today who have journeyed with these graduates through those times of joy, but particularly during the times of difficulty and trial. May their supportive actions will be paid forward by this generation of physicians as they seek to enhance the well-being of our global community through the expansion of the frontiers of basic and applied science, scientific knowledge, and its translation from the bench to the bedside. And we're grateful to you, O God, Creator and Sustainer of all, and invoke your presence and blessing upon all of us today in this commencement ceremony that we're about to begin. May your name be glorified, and may this generation of graduates be reminded that every person they treat and heal with compassion and dignity bears the image of your divinity. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain Seville. Please be seated. So as I said, I am so honored to be here with you, with your friends and family, to celebrate our School of Medicine's class of 2017. Class of 2017, you should be proud of how far you've come. You've achieved what may have felt impossible at some points along the way, but your hard work and your sacrifice have paid off. The next phase of your life will likely be equally, if not more challenging than the last. So I think it will be important to find tranquility amid the chaos. Let me tell you a few stories, in particular some stories about fly fishing, which is one of my favorite pastimes. Few things in my mind are more peaceful than standing in a river alone in beautiful surroundings, trying to solve the riddle of the fly and the fish. But in my opinion, there's more. If you've ever been fly fishing, you know that it may not be easy for those that are looking for an easy catch. The key, in my mind, is being centered, focused, prepared, and present. Here's a favorite quote from a movie and the book written by Norman MacLean entitled "A River Runs Through It." It was, in many words, or in any sense, an autobiography description. He took some liberties describing growing up in Montana with his father and his brother. It's a deeply spiritual read, though I think its meanings are much more beyond religion and Catholicism. Here is the quote: "Eventually all things merge into one, and a river runs through it. The river was cut by the world's great flood and runs over rocks from the basement of time. On some of these rocks are timeless raindrops. Under the rocks are words, and some of the words are theirs. I'm haunted by waters." It's a beautiful quote, but what might it mean? Let's start with "eventually all things merge into one." This might refer to the belief that some things like duty, honor, privilege, servage, and aspiration are timeless reasons for being. And a river runs through it. The river was cut by the world's great flood and runs over rocks from the basement of time. Although many beliefs are, and I think they should be, timeless, they are influenced by external forces in nature. As in life, there are truly no unstoppable forces or immovable objects. But if we look closely, we will understand that these principles have been true since the beginning of time. Under the rocks are the words, and some of the words are theirs. I'm haunted by the waters. I've read that these phrases represent the should-haves, the could-haves, the would-haves, must-haves of our lives. Perhaps they're the voice inside us telling us that we can do better, we can be better, we must be better. But if we're not careful, we can perseverate to the point of distraction and self-denigration. This river can be like the trials and tribulations of our medical profession and your future roles as physician healers. On the right are internal pressures to provide high-quality, patient-centered care in a world where both medical knowledge and administrative burdens appear to be expanding exponentially. On the left might be the socio-political and economic pressures you will experience. Sometimes this gets translated too simply as, well, you just got to figure out how to do more with less. The sharp turns, deposits, riffles, runs, and deep pools, even the old dry channels of the river, represent the knowns and unknowns about the paths our lives may take. At the bottom of the river, the floor is our foundation, is how we center ourselves. It reminds us of what is most important, which in my view is providing the best care to every patient, every time, while taking care of ourselves and our loved ones. I want to emphasize the importance of caring for yourselves and your loved ones as you proceed with your careers. In my view, this is the best way to provide the very best service to your patients. So nurture yourself, because now, more than ever, the world needs healers. This river represents a very bright future of healthcare in this country and around the world. And I will say that the river doesn't run through it, it will actually run through you. I will end with another quote from a nature lover and also avid angler, Henry David Thoreau, who would celebrate his 200th birthday this year. His quote is, "You must live in the present, launch yourself on every wave and every river, find your eternity in each moment." So congratulations to all of you and what you've achieved so far, and here's to your future. It's now a pleasure for me to introduce Dr. David Callender, who's president of the university. He's here. We're honored that he's here. He will oversee our commencement and will confer our degrees. Please join me in a round of applause for Dr. Callender. There are some other people I believe are here that I would like to introduce. Mr. Scott Bowie, as I call your names, please wave or stand if you're here. Scott Bowie is Assistant Vice President of the University Services and our registrar. I don't see him. Applaud anyway. I did see Ms. Carrie King, who's Senior Vice President and General Counsel for UTMB. Thank you very much. Dr. Stephen Lieberman is here. He's Senior Dean for Administration and Professor of Internal Medicine. Dr. Rex McCollum is Vice President, Associate Dean for Clinical Affairs, and our Chief Physician Executive. Dr. Ronald McKinley is here. He's Vice President of Human Resources and Employee Services. Thank you, Dr. McKinley. Dr. Charles Mouton is here about 3 months in as our newly appointed Vice Dean for Academic Affairs and Professor of Family Medicine. Dr. David Niesel's here. He's Senior Vice President, Chief Research Officer for the university, and Dean for the Graduate School of Biomedical Sciences. So thanks to all of them for joining. Now I want to talk about the mace that you noticed in the commencement procession. If you look closely, and maybe you can look at it and see it or find it online, it bears the seal of the University of Texas and signifies the power and authority vested in the institution. This year, the mace is entrusted to the care of the Senior Faculty Marshal, Dr. Anita Mercado, who is Associate Professor in our Department of Internal Medicine. Our Chief Faculty Marshals are Dr. Judith Aronson, who is Professor in our Departments of Pathology, Microbiology, and Immunology, Dr. Gail Olson, Professor in our Department of Obstetrics and Gynecology. Our other faculty marshals are Dr. Tanya Eves Piles, who's Associate Professor in our Department of Microbiology and Immunology, Dr. Christine Gugliuzza, who is Professor in our Departments of Surgery and Pediatrics, Dr. Owen Hamill, Associate Professor in our Department of Neuroscience and Cell Biology, Dr. Philip Kaiser, Professor in our Department of Internal Medicine, Dr. Ronald Levy, Professor in our Department of Anesthesiology, and Dr. Anthony Okorodudu, who is Professor in our Department of Pathology. Dr. Biyang Peng is here, Assistant Professor in our Department of Neuroscience and Cell Biology, and last, and certainly not least, Dr. Jaron Sun, Professor in our Departments of Microbiology, Immunology, and Pathology. So please join me in a round of applause for these fine people. Now it's my pleasure to call upon Dr. Callender to say a few words.
Thank you, Dr. Jacobs. It's a great pleasure to welcome everyone to today's commencement ceremony for our graduates of the University of Texas Medical Branch School of Medicine. This is an inspiring day for all who are gathered here to celebrate the transformation from medical student to physician. Graduates, today you will become alumni of the UTMB School of Medicine, joining generations of colleagues who have dedicated their lives to improving health throughout the world. This ceremony marks the culmination of an important step in the journey toward answering your calling to serving others. It has taken you many years of hard work, sacrifice, and dedication to reach this point. We are all proud of your commitment, your effort, and your determination, and we cannot wait to see where you go next. You leave UTMB with a medical education that is second to none, thanks to our renowned and distinguished faculty members who have worked diligently to prepare you so well. Their commitment to your education ensures that you'll not only be able to provide the best possible care to patients, but that you'll have a desire for lifelong learning that can help you become a leader in your chosen field. This is by design, for you will find, as every UTMB graduate before you has found, that there is always so much to learn. As you prepare to move on to the next stage of your career, take advantage of the opportunities to absorb knowledge from your mentors, your colleagues, and your patients. And be generous with the knowledge you have gained through training and practice. We learn best when we learn together. Now, as a physician, you will have a privilege to change lives. You will have a chance to collaborate in interdisciplinary teams to promote and improve health for patients throughout this country and around the world. Some of you will help foster new discoveries and approaches to care in an ever-changing healthcare landscape. These breakthroughs often occur through collaboration and especially persistence. Perhaps most importantly, I encourage you to listen to colleagues, to patients, to their families, to the new graduates who will one day follow in your footsteps, for the ability to listen well is the foundation for excellence in the health sciences. So no matter the path you choose as a physician, we at UTMB look forward to hearing of your future successes as leaders in healthcare. I know that you will continue the legacy of distinguished UTMB alumni who have been recognized for their service and leadership, much like our Ashbel Smith Distinguished Alumni Award recipients who are being recognized later this morning. As you enter this next stage of your medical career, remember to always act with integrity and to always strive for excellence. Think big. Your creative and innovative ideas can and will make a real and positive difference for the health of others. Be lifelong learners, advancing your knowledge and the impact it has on others. Be bold in thought and in action. Be passionate about what you believe and compassionate in your approach to honoring those beliefs. Be ready to take steps forward and to accept with grace the setbacks that inevitably occur. When I look at all of you who are graduating today, I see the future of healthcare, and I say with complete confidence, the future of healthcare is very bright indeed. Congratulations and best wishes.
Thank you, Dr. Callender. Now I want to once again make sure that we recognize the parents, spouses, family members, and friends who've helped make this day possible for our graduates. So class of 2017, please join me in a round of applause for your supporters. And cheers. Thank you very much. And now for your extended family at UTMB, the faculty members, we are indebted to them. Their support is absolutely critical. That's where the work gets done. Our faculty members are certainly the core of what makes UTMB a unique learning community, in my opinion. We are fortunate to be home to some of the world's top scholars, scientists, and clinicians who work tirelessly to ensure that you all are supported and you will be successful. Our faculty members have faithfully served you, I believe, instilling in you the important social, moral, and ethical obligations and fabrics of our profession. So please join me in recognizing our faculty members in the School of Medicine. So, class of 2017, you will be officially entering an important family at the conclusion of today's ceremony, the UTMB alumni family. It's our hope that you will stay connected to us because you will be joining a group of distinguished graduates who are passionate in their efforts to facilitate and promote a rewarding educational experience for future students. So on behalf of UTMB's Alumni Association, Dr. Neil Green, who is currently president, will have a brief message for you. Dr. Green?
Thank you, Dr. Jacobs. I also would like to welcome the students, the friends, and the parents of the graduating seniors. I am a member of the class of 1971, and I am like Dr. Jacobs said, I'm here as president of the Alumni Association. And I would like to welcome each of you to membership in this Alumni Association. You're joining a proud tradition of graduates that began in 1891. Since that time, UTMB has granted more than 14,500 medical degrees. And they've trained more physicians than any other medical school in Texas. I urge you never to lose sight of what is best for your patients, and I urge you to remain a member of the community of medicine, the Medical Alumni Association. As students, your Alumni Association has provided you with your white coats and your Honor Council pins. They've sponsored your match day reception. They've provided mentoring opportunities. They've funded numerous student-driven initiatives. Today, it's my honor to announce that you will be given your first year of membership as a complimentary gesture from the Alumni Association. The Alumni Association provides opportunities for alumni and friends to stay connected with UTMB and to stay connected with each other. They foster programs and services that continue the relationship with the University of Texas Medical Branch. Now, while your first year of membership is free, I urge each of you to pay it forward, as we say, to always remain a member of the University of Texas Medical Branch Alumni Association. Texas is the fastest growing state in the nation. The number of physicians per 100,000 of population ranks in the lowest 10% in the nation. Healthcare reform is fundamentally changing the way medicine will be practiced in the future. Please stay involved with your local medical society, with the Texas Medical Association, and with your specialty society so that you will be informed. And moreover, stay close to your School of Medicine Alumni Association. Staying engaged at these levels can assure that you stay contemporary with medicine's changes, about continuing medical education opportunities, and about the political currents that either improve or threaten the practice of medicine. No one will remember what I say here today, but I'll say two things that I want you to remember. Number one, always be ethical in the care of your patients. Always be loving and kind. And secondly, join the Alumni Association. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Green. We will now recognize students who have achieved special honors. Dr. Charles Mouton, as I said, Vice Dean for Academic Affairs, will present the William N. and Ida Zen Alpha Omega Alpha Award. Dr. Mouton.
Thank you, Dr. Jacobs. The William N. and Ida Zen Alpha Omega Alpha Award Scholarship Fund was established by Mr. William N. Zen of Galveston in 1955. The purpose of the endowment is to award the graduating student in the School of Medicine showing the highest scholarly and intellectual attainment. It is with great pleasure that I present the 2017 Alpha Omega Alpha Award to the graduating student with the highest cumulative grade point average at the end of 4 years of study. Would Matthew James Mackay please come forward to receive this award? Now I would like to introduce Senior Class President, Mr. Carlos Chavez Jr., who will present the James W. Powers Memorial Award and the Gold-Headed Cane Award. Mr. Chavez.
All right, good morning, everyone. So my name is Carlos Chavez, and I'm actually the vice president of the class. But I'm here to present the James W. Powers Memorial Award. And let me tell you a little bit about it first. So the James W. Powers Memorial Award honors a teacher of clinical subjects who, by his example and instruction, has made an outstanding contribution to the central task of UTMB, which is a creation of physicians capable of practicing both the art and the science of medicine. So it's my pleasure to introduce, so the graduating class, the School of Medicine, my peers and I, we selected this person, and it's my privilege and pleasure to introduce the 2017 recipient, Dr. Richard Goodgame. All right, so I'm also going to be presenting the Gold-Headed Cane Award. And here's a little history about that. So the Gold-Headed Cane Award was established on the campus of the University of Texas Medical Branch in 1960 by the late Dr. Charles T. Stone, a 1915 UTMB alumnus and a longtime chairman of the university's Department of Internal Medicine. So as vice president of the fourth year class, it's an honor to participate in this ceremony. You will find the story of the gold-headed cane printed in the program. This award is given to bring the art of medicine more prominently to the attention of the students, and it is bestowed to that student who, in the opinion of his or her peers, best exemplifies the qualities of the practice of the art of medicine. So one by one, I'll call up the 5 finalists. As I call your name, please stand up and join me on the stage, and then we'll proceed forward. So the first finalist is going to be DeMarcus E. Bayman. All right, the next finalist is Morgan Fizzler. The next finalist is Atul Gupta. The next finalist is Cesar Agustin Perez. And last but not least, Mr. James Trump. Okay, so it is my pleasure to present the 2017 Gold-Headed Cane Award to DeMarcus E. Bayman.
Thank you, Mr. Chavez. Congratulations again to all of our award finalists as well as to Mr. Bayman. It's now my pleasure to recognize the 2017 recipients of the Asheville Smith Distinguished Alumnus Award, which is the highest honor bestowed by our School of Medicine. Our honorees received a replica of Old Red at a special ceremony we had last evening. They will receive medallions today bearing the likeness of Asheville Smith. Please refer to your program for additional information on the biographies of our distinguished alumni. Our first honoree is Dr. Milton Chip Rout. Dr. Rout received his medical degree from UTMB in 1983. He's internationally renowned for his pioneering work in pelvic fracture fixation and pelvic research. He's a passionate educator. He's mentored more than 150 practicing traumatologists in North America, and he is an orthopedic trauma specialist at Memorial Hermann Hospital. It's my pleasure to present the Asheville Smith Distinguished Alumnus Award to Dr. Milton Chip Rout. Dr. Rout, please come forward. Our second honoree is Dr. Bruce Shack, who earned his medical degree from UTMB in 1973. Dr. Shack served as chair of plastic surgery at Vanderbilt University in Nashville for 2 decades before taking on his current role, which is dean at the University of Tennessee Health Sciences Center College of Medicine in Chattanooga. It's my pleasure to present the Asheville Smith Distinguished Alumnus Award to Dr. Bruce Shack. Dr. Shack. Now, I'd like to recognize Dr. Ned Snyder III, who earned his medical degree from UTMB in 1970. Dr. Snyder was the first to report removal of a stomach polyp endoscopically and one of the first to research biomarkers in liver disease. Dr. Snyder is chief of gastroenterology and hepatology at the Kelsey-Seybold Clinic, as well as an adjunct professor here for us at UTMB. It's my pleasure again to present the Asheville Smith Distinguished Alumnus Award to Dr. Snyder. Snyder? Our next honoree is Dr. Robert Squires. Dr. Squires received his medical degree from UTMB in 1977. He's a professor of pediatrics at the University of Pittsburgh's School of Medicine and the primary liver transplant surgeon at the Children's Hospital. He also currently leads an NIH-sponsored multinational pediatric acute liver failure study group, as well as the Pittsburgh Pediatric Cholestatic Liver Disease Consortium. Again, my pleasure to present this award to Dr. Squires. Dr. Squires. Our last honoree is Dr. James Wynn, who earned his medical degree from UTMB in 1967. Dr. Wynn served as Executive Vice President and CEO of the Federation of State Medical Boards of the United States and was a founding pioneer member of the International Association of Medical Licensing Authorities. He's the immediate past president of our School of Medicine Alumni Association Board of Trustees. Once again, it's my distinct pleasure and honor to present the Asheville Smith Distinguished Alumnus Award to Dr. Wynn. Dr. Wynn? It's now my pleasure to introduce today's commencement speaker, our own Dr. Juan Ramon Ortega Barnett. Dr. Ortega Barnett is a neurosurgeon and assistant professor in our Department of Surgery and our Division of Neurosurgery. He earned his medical degree from LaSalle University Medical School in Mexico City. He was board certified in Mexico and completed a neurosurgery residency there before he came to the United States. Then he went on and did 2 more residencies, ultimately culminating in general surgical residency at West Virginia, chief residency in neurosurgery at the Allegheny General Hospital in Pittsburgh. And then in 2005, he completed a brain tumor fellowship program at the Brigham and Women's Hospital and Harvard Medical School. All in all then, Dr. Ortega spent more than 2 decades training, but I think he will tell you about the importance of persistence, hard work, And I think he'll say it's worth it to be able to do what you love. So I think Dr. Ortega-Burnett will probably tell us a lot more about his professional journey and his life experiences, but without further ado, class of 27, your speaker.
Thank you, Dr. Danny Jacobs. That was very kind of you. Esteemed President, Dr. David Callender, Executive Vice President, Provost and Dean, Dr. Danny Jacobs, distinguished guests, executive members, faculty of UTMB, family, friends, but above all, graduates of 2017. I know that there are many who are more deserving to stand here as your keynote speaker, so I am deeply humbled and greatly honored to have this privilege and celebrate with you today this very special and happy occasion. Graduates, today it's your day. I know also that it's no small feat what you've accomplished in these last 4 years. You know, especially first getting into medical school, then getting through medical school. It's not an easy endeavor. First, you know, there are thousands of hours of hard work, learning, studying, reading, organizing, trying to understand the meaning of new concepts, integrating them, and then memorizing them so that you could then take those nerve-wracking tests. You know, learning medical terminology, it's like learning a new language. And then top that off with topics like biochemistry, pharmacology, neuroanatomy, pathophysiology, nephrology, and then, of course, associating diseases with their proper treatments. It's a whole world of information and definitely a daunting task. So let me start by saying congratulations, job well done. All that hard work, all that hard work and effort have finally paid off, so welcome to the Guild of Doctors. All right, well, maybe not so fast. You know, I hate to break it to you, but the hard work is far from over. In fact, the hard work, it's just beginning. Residency will put your stamina and resilience to the test. You know, residency is the beginning of a lifelong journey of learning and sacrifice. And I don't have to tell you, there will be times when you're tired, exhausted, overworked, maybe even homesick. It might be early hours in the morning, and you're having to deal with a disgruntled patient, an overbearing or uncompromising faculty, or an cooperative staff. And you may even ask yourself, why do I have to put up with all this? What was I thinking? And you may even doubt and wonder if you've chosen the right path. But I assure you, the best is yet to come. You are joining a very noble profession. So what exactly does that mean? Well, to be noble is to have or show qualities of high moral character, such as honor, courage, loyalty, kindness, gentleness, integrity, dignity, patience, politeness, to mention just a few, of course. And two noble professions that come to mind, nursing and teaching, and they share many of these qualities. I mean, even a Marine is expected to be honorable, courageous, and loyal. But as a doctor, society will look up to you as the embodiment of all of these qualities and will hold you up to the highest moral standard. So I remember once, on occasion, I had a patient who had severe trigeminal neuralgia. He had even considered suicide as an option. But fortunately, after successful surgery, his pain went away, and he was very grateful. And he gave me one of those heartfelt handshakes, you know, the kind where they don't let go? It's like, it's okay, Mr. B. Yes, I understand. I'm very happy for you. No, you're more than welcome, sir. But then I understood that this is his way of giving, showing his gratitude because he had truly been through a life-changing experience. And not only that, it meant that I could find meaning and purpose in my own life. On another occasion, I had a patient who had a very large skull-based tumor. And the surgery took all day and well into the night. So of course, I finished exhausted and always concerned about possible neurological complications. But fortunately, to everyone's relief, he woke up with no neurologic deficits. And then this beautiful little girl comes up to me. You could tell that she had been crying, her eyes were red, but she gave me this hug and she said, "Thank you for saving my daddy." It was in that moment that I realized that all that hard work and effort was well worth it. And that's a moment I will always cherish. Now, thank you. Of course, there will also be difficult times, like breaking bad news, and no matter how long you've been in practice, this never comes easy. You will be handling humanity's most precious gift, and that's life itself. So as physicians, we have an enormous responsibility to do what is right for the patient. We are also, I also want to mention that, we are constantly reminded how sacred life is. Teachers in school will tell us this, attorneys in court, politicians in parliament, even actors on stage. Our founding fathers made it very clear in our Constitution. And the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which was adopted by the United Nations after World War II, and is perhaps the closest thing we have to a global constitution, categorically states that the right to life is humanity's most fundamental value. So here's the main point. What does it mean to be a doctor? I mean, there's no question and no doubt that to be a practicing physician, you have to have a body of knowledge and certain set of skills. But the real question is that enough? So, one of the persons who I strongly admire and who was a source of inspiration for me in becoming a doctor in the first place is my uncle, Dr. Rafael Andrade. And I recall once when I was a young boy on a family vacation, I witnessed how a man, unconscious man, was pulled out of the ocean and dragged onto the beach. And as the crowd gathered round, I saw my uncle kneel beside this man, and he started performing CPR. And as I got closer to the crowd, I could hear people in the crowd talking and saying that it was useless, that this man was already under the water for too long and that he was already dead. But my uncle paid no attention. He continued to work tirelessly. And then it happened. To everyone's surprise, the man came back to life. I was amazed and so proud of my uncle. So I believe that there are certain personal attributes and qualities that should be met in order to define the essence of what it means to be a doctor. You need to have a bedrock of principle, a solid foundation on which to build the experiences that you will encounter throughout your professional career. You will be faced with difficult choices and tough decisions, and it is important to be well-grounded and to have firm values. Also, adopt an unswerving moral compass. Remain steadfast, sure-footed. Do always what's right for the patient. Don't let excessive pride and arrogance blind you to the details that really matter. I call that hubris. And when we let overconfidence and lack of fear predominate, it always leads to shortcomings. Hubris will always be the downfall of narcissism. And the important thing is if you rest on your laurels, you cease to strive for further achievements. But then again, don't let that moral compass swerve into the opposite direction, where apathy, lack of empathy, and lack of compassion have caused as much harm, if not more, and it always leads to unworthiness. When physicians stop caring, they succumb to the indifference of mediocrity. So unfortunately, still, we will find some members in our community who have equated caring with treatment. And they will only care for patients who they believe can be cured. And if they're no longer curable, they will cease to tend to any of those patients' needs. So always be true to yourself. Focus on a goal. Be tough-minded, well-disciplined, be patient, and be resilient. Resilience is the ability to remain focused on a goal no matter what obstacles come your way. And the core to resilience is commitment. And it's interesting that the people that we see who are most successful are not necessarily the ones with natural talent. It's those who are able to overcome all those hardships with focused hard work, commitment, dedication, and resilience. So also, it's important to never be afraid and say, I don't know. That's something that we sometimes, look at because it's not a sign of weakness. It's actually a sign of courage. Courage to try to seek understanding of that, what we still don't understand or know. And, it's always important to know that an understanding faculty will recognize that you're not expected to know everything. So it's important to remain inquisitive, open-minded, ask questions. The value of asking questions is very clear in medicine and in science. And once, it's also important to follow up on all those unanswered questions because that's what builds integrity and character. And once you've acquired more knowledge and skills, you will be fulfilling your professional responsibilities, making sure that you have good quality of patient care. You must remember also, it's a fact, we don't know a lot in medicine. But it's also true. There's a lot that individual physicians don't know of what is already known, so don't forget that. Always speak up. You know, one of the things that has been established as a standard of care by the Joint Commission is the surgical timeout. And it is the last step in the universal protocol. It is performed essentially before the planned procedure is initiated. So it's the final recapitulation and reassurance of the adequate patient identity, surgical site, and planned procedure. And we do it as a team, usually in the operating room. Of course, the patient needs to be present, and everybody should be in agreement. And if not, you're encouraged to speak up. You know, this was famously said by Martin Mueller in 1946. First, they came for the socialists. I did not speak out because I was not a socialist. Then they came for the trade unionists. I did not speak out because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews. I did not speak out because I was not a Jew. And finally, they came for me, and there was no one left to speak for me. And don't forget also what Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said. In the end, we will remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends. Dr. Jerome Grossman, in his bestseller book, How Doctors Think, points out that one of the most important reasons why we have errors in diagnosis or physician errors are cognitive mistakes. We all have a tendency to put labels upon our first encounter when we see people or patients. And, you know, when we do that, doctors run the risk of locking in too soon on a particular diagnosis or in a particular treatment. And by doing that, we realize that we're not perhaps considering differential diagnoses, or maybe we're working with an erroneous diagnosis to begin with. So it's good practice to pause and ask yourself, what is it about this patient that I still don't understand? Or better yet, what is it that I should know about this patient before proceeding? I recall once I had a patient, a 65-year-old, who came to me, referred to me by his primary care physician, with intractable thoracic back pain, and it radiated into his left rib cage. So on my initial exam, I examined, he had normal motor reflexes, strength was okay, he had no bladder or bowel issues, and my knee-jerk reaction would have been to do a $1,000 workup with MRI, chest x-ray, EKG, and lab work. But then upon doing a more thorough exam, and as soon as he removed his shirt, the diagnosis became very clear. He had multiple vesicles of herpes zoster. So it's important to keep an open mind, think of differentials, and always, always examine your patients. So I was born in Texas, and at the age of 4, we moved to New York City, and we lived on Manhattan, on Amsterdam Avenue, about 20 blocks from Harlem, and I would walk to school. It was about a seven-block walk. I went to Children's Community Workshop School, and afterwards I was transferred to Public School number 9. And back then it was a rough neighborhood. You know, several times I nearly got run over by a car. I was, actually attacked by a German Shepherd. I was frequently bullied at school. You know, our house got broken into, our apartment. My mother was held at knife point, and I even got mugged. But you know, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And resilience is the ability to pull through adversity. Then at age 9, I moved to Mexico City, where I continued the rest of my schooling all the way through university, medical school, and as Dr. Jacobs pointed out, my first neurosurgical residency. Upon completing that, I came back to the States, and for that first year, I worked as a surgical assistant in tech while I studied for my USMLE boards. And this was in downtown Houston on Westheimer at Rosewood Medical Center, but by the way, it doesn't exist anymore. I was then accepted into a general surgery residency in West Virginia, and I did 4 years of general surgery, then went on to complete another full neurosurgery residency in Pittsburgh, as well as a fellowship in Boston. So my point is, sure, maybe I'm not so smart, maybe I'm a slow learner, but I'm definitely stubborn, and dreams do come true. So dream big, find your passion, focus on it, and work hard at it, because where there is a will, there is a way. And remember, you will reap what you sow. So I've been asked to give just a few recommendations for your first year in residency, and I think I have a few years under my belt, so I can tell you a little thing. Some people may call it pearls of wisdom, others call it kernels of truth. I just call it solid advice. And I've been saying this all along, but first and above all is do what's right for the patient. You know, you can't go wrong. And if you were to ask me, how do I know what's right for the patient? I would tell you, imagine that patient as someone who you love or consider near to you, like a dear friend or a family member. You will then know what's right for the patient. Next, it's important also to know your patient. You know, learn all the details of their current clinical picture, their past medical history, and examine your patients. Memorize their medications, their allergies. Follow up on all the tests ordered. Be proactive about it. Call the lab, find out the results. Walk down to the radiology department, review the films with the radiologist, right? And actually talk to the consulting team and find out their recommendations. And then read about your patient's disease. For me, that meant I had to come in earlier than my peers and many times stay later, just so that I could make everything was organized and I understood clearly what the plan was of treatment. During that first year as an intern, you're not expected to know all the latest surgical nuances of some novel surgical technique or the procedures and treatments of some obscure pathology. You know, that comes later. That's why you're in training. But when you're on rounds, and if your chief resident wants to know, or your faculty wants to know, what was the last white blood cell count? When was the last dose of antibiotic? What was the CT scan results? Or what was the recommendations from the consulting team? You'll have those answers rolling off your tongue. Always be respectful of your coworkers. This is another important point. You know, your coworkers, nurses, housekeeping staff, your peers, faculty, learn their names, cordially greet them. I find that the best way to start my day is by saying good morning. And also be mindful of their suggestions. So many times, you know, they'll have good, solid advice. You know, they've been around the block, so keep an open mind. Another good point I like to say is sometimes it pays to go the extra mile. You know, my mentor, Dr. Peter Janetta, had a real knack for gaining the patient's confidence. He would actually start a conversation by actually asking them about their hometown or their line of work. And he was also really good at thanking everybody at the end of a surgical case. So he made you feel like a real important team member. And something else that I find useful also is keep a journal. Even if it's just a few lines every so often. I think it's really useful to reflect on previous decisions that you made in the past, and it may help you to broaden your outlook for the future. So I also want to say that I'm very, very fortunate to have wonderful parents. You know, they're very loving, and I am always in debt to all of their care and all of their teachings. My mother is an American citizen. My father is a Mexican citizen. And even though they were divorced before I was one, you know, and I didn't realize it maybe as a child, I grew up understanding now that I had a great advantage of growing up with two cultures, two customs, two languages, always traveling back and forth between the US and Mexico. And ever since I was little, I knew I wanted to be a doctor. That was always on my mind. So when I finished medical school, I went to live for a year on an Indian reservation in the northern mountains of Chihuahua. I lived with the Tarahumara Indians, and I was their local doctor. And this is an experience that will stay with me for the rest of my life. And, you know, mind you, this is 1990, before cell phones or anything, right? And I'm in this small cabin, no electricity, no running water, no gas. You know, I would actually read my Harrison's Principles of Internal Medicine by an oil-burning lamp. I would stay warm by feeding wood into a wood-burning stove during the snowy, cold winter nights. And, you know, I would bathe with a bucket of water, and I would wash my clothes in the river. But I learned a lot from these people. And I saw lots of diseases that I would probably only read in books, you know, such as leprosy, for example. But one of the things that happened is I came down with measles, and I became very sick. And, you know, I really thought it was the end of the line for me. And as I lay there in what I thought would be my deathbed, I pondered. I said, how sad it would be to leave this world having not been able to say goodbye to my family, and what have I accomplished in life? And it's interesting how you have these near-death experiences that really makes you understand and value the things that really matter. And so the Tarahumara people are, like I say, wonderful people, and they taught me so much through their humble simplicity. They taught me more about life and myself than I would have learned from any book. But my greatest achievement, by far, is my family. I married the love of my life, and she has actually been with me through thick and thin, and has put up with all of my long hours and my very jealous profession. So she's the real hero here. And we're fortunate to have two lovely, adorable children who are the joy and light of my days. And I'm also fortunate to be part of the UTMB family. So finally, what I want to say is, I've been telling you all along to be fully dedicated and committed to being very professional, but there's something else I need to say. You know, hard work and frequent sacrifice can lead to shortcomings, and it can wear you down. You know, we've been conditioned in a system that fosters the production of single-minded workaholics, very knowledgeable of the latest scientific publication in medical literature, you know, with an incredible overdrive for hard work, and perhaps also highly controlled emotionally, you know, putting aside gratification, immediate gratification for long-term gain. But when we put work first, and family and friends and personal needs for later, and only if there's time, we're at great risk for becoming burned out, exhausted, overworked, and even depressed. So it's important to find that delicate balance. Remember, your professional goal is to be a good doctor, but your life goal is to be a good and happy person, or at least it should be. You know, patients want a doctor who is available, knowledgeable, and well-humored. But families, they want a spouse or a parent who is available, helpful, and well-humored. And there are people who have, you know, equated, you know, medical marriage as to be living alone with someone. So set your priorities straight and really, you know, guard them vigorously. It's important to give back to yourself. Maybe read an interesting novel, or perhaps sign up for a race or a mud run, or practice learning, you know, a new language, or, you know, playing an instrument. Meditate, but always make time for family and friends. You know, it's important to keep that balance. And if you were to ask me, how do we find that balance? Live every moment consciously and make every moment count. Carpe diem. Finally, I would like to say also is that I know some of you will probably discover new diseases or perhaps groundbreaking treatments for currently uncurable diseases. Do remember, though, it does take about a generation for new techniques to be fully adopted. It took Louis Pasteur possibly around 30 years before his germ theory was thoroughly accepted. You know, the medical community spent more or less 20 years before they realized that aspirin does help survival and outcomes in patients who've had heart attacks. You know, it was Doctors Barry Marshall and Robin Warren. It took them 2 decades of fighting against drug companies, defending their theories, till finally it was realized that, gastric ulcers is produced by H. pylori and it can be cured. And they were the recipients of the Medicine Nobel Prize of 2005. My mentor, Dr. Peter Janetta, was considered a charlatan, a quack, for nearly a generation before finally it was accepted that, the standard of care for trigeminal neuralgia and his surgery that he improvised and performed is worldwide accepted now. So do that, but also I understand that not all of you are going to be innovators, but what I would hope for every single one of you is to become a beacon of hope, of inspiration and comfort for those around you. And finally, what I would like to say is that I encourage you to teach what you learn throughout your professional careers and teach future upcoming doctors and future generations. Teaching is a very wonderful and rewarding experience. And it's important to keep alive a tradition that is old as humankind itself. And finally, in a world where there's lots of hunger, war, and disease, I would only hope that we can make this a better place by helping one patient at a time. And if you don't remember anything of what I said today, at least remember, enjoy the journey. And finally, one day, when you all look back, you can say with pride, I am a UTMB graduate. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was a wonderful speech. We just want to present you with this commemorative medallion. Thank you very much. Outstanding. Thank you very much. Dr. Jeffrey Rayback, who's Associate Dean for Student Affairs and Admissions, will now introduce this year's student class speaker. Dr. Rayback.
It is my pleasure to introduce our 2017 School of Medicine Commencement class speaker, Mr. DeMarcus Bayman. Mr. Bayman was selected by his class to deliver this address. Mr. Bayman received his Bachelor of Science in Neurobiology from the University of Texas at Austin. His honors include the Drs. Martin and Dorothy Spatz Charitable Foundation Scholarship, and the Dr. Janet and Dr. Newton D. Fisher Family Scholarship Endowment. He is a member of the Alpha Omega Alpha Honor Society and the Gold Humanism Honor Society. Throughout his time at UTMB, Mr. Bayman has volunteered for organizations such as the Galveston County and Houston Food Banks and the Ronald McDonald House. He was a student member of the Office of Clinical Education's Clinical Skills Summit and an LCME Student Ambassador Coordinator. Mr. Bayman was also a content contributor for the USMLE RX, which helps students prepare for their board exams. He was also a USMLE tutor and led course and laboratory sections through UTMB's Office of Academic Affairs. Mr. Bayman has worked as a research assistant for our Department of Neurosurgery and the Mitchell Center for Neurodegenerative Diseases. He recently contributed to a publication in the Journal of Pediatric Neurosciences, as well as posters presented at various events, including the 84th Annual American Association of Neurological Surgeons at the National AMA Conference. Please join me in welcoming this exemplary student, DeMarcus Bayman.
Thank you, Dr. Raybeck, for that lovely introduction. Dr. Callender, Dr. Jacobs, UTMB administration, faculty, staff, and alumni, I'm honored. Class of 2017, thank you for choosing me to speak. I need us to loosen up a little bit. I've never seen my class so stiff. Can we loosen up a little bit? Just shake a little bit. Also like to thank my family for their support. Their section, my section over there. They've been extremely supportive. Today's speech is about reflection, so I want everybody to think about their journey up to this point. It seemed like yesterday this was all a dream. Sometime in high school, undergraduate education, after undergraduate education, or even in utero for some of us, we decided to pursue the journey of medicine. Once we made that decision, we had to sacrifice. You'll hear that a lot. Parties, concerts, events, all to study for classes like physics. Okay. I just don't understand how I ever passed those classes, got through, but we did it. They need to take those classes out. This is my plea to the administration. They gotta go. And after we accumulated our GPAs, we sat for this little test called the MCAT. Who's glad they never have to take that ever again? And we took Princeton review courses and Kaplan review courses to sit down for a 4 or 5 hour exam. Now, after we took that exam, we got our resumes together, our recommendation letters, and applied to medical school. And I don't know about you, I was nervous. I started to have this existential crisis. What am I doing? Am I gonna get in? Am I gonna get an interview? I got my interview at UTMB. I was so excited. Then in early February, at night, it was about midnight. That song, y'all remember that song? I got a feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. You hear that vibrato? And that was the night that we all got into medical school, all of us here. Success requires a decision. It seemed like yesterday I remember driving across the causeway of the bridge to UTMB for our prep course. I got to meet some of my classmates for prep. I took prep too seriously. The administration needs to tell people, relax, it's an introduction to medical school. Then gross anatomy came and everybody, all of these lovely, beautiful people here joined us. That's when I realized medical school was intense. Medical school was so intense, people were hiding pathological specimens so others couldn't study. Medical school was so intense, people used to shout out in class, I have a question. Where is she at? Medical school was so intense that we had a chair incident. Now, the chair incident was very involved. I will not divulge the details. And for the audience, just ask someone, what is the chair incident? And after that, year 2 came. And year 2 is an intense year of medical school because we have to prepare for our boards. USMLE, we use Pathoma, First Aid, and UWorld. And it's the test that determines our careers. Am I right, guys? They put so much emphasis on it, we were so nervous. That test is 8 hours. And we used to sit and camp out in rooms with our little teapots, and we used to squat in the library. Good thing there is no squatting laws in Texas, or we would own the whole UTMB campus. And after we completed that, year 3 came, and that's what we came to medical school for. Year 3 is clinicals. I call it the year of the imprinting. All you do is follow like ducklings. You follow these beautiful people behind me, these smart, intelligent people, and you try to soak up as much knowledge as you can. I remember I did not know what I was doing. Trying to take a history, tried to take perform a physical exam, and I was praying that you guys in the audience, as our patients, did not know. I didn't know what I was doing. I had no clue. And when you would ask and say, hey, doc, what do you think is going on? I would say, I would be ready, have my preparation speech. I would go talk to my upper level. We would get together. We would discuss your case. And I will let you know. Code for, I don't know. And then year 4 came, and I wish we could rewind year 4. It's a lovely year. A lot of us had away rotations. It's expensive. No one tells you the expense of medical school. It's very expensive, a lot of money. And we had interviews. I wanted to leave Texas, and so on my interviews, everyone would ask me, are you really going to leave Texas? There's this Texas curse. I know me and my classmates, we've talked about this. This Texas curse, are you going to leave? I'm like, yeah, I'm willing to leave. And I got out, I'm going to Boston. So hopefully I'll be back. And then match day, and that was an exciting day. We all got our choices. And I just want to impart on the class that I was so proud of us because we were so resilient. I know a lot of us, we may not have gotten our first choices, but we know that life does not stop and you have to push. I was so inspired by you guys' resilience, and I want you to know that. And then after match, I thought I was done. I went back to clinic and I looked at my resident, I can go home, right? He was like, no. So therefore, success requires dedication and commitment. Residency is soon about to start. Who's nervous? If you're not nervous, give me some of your superpowers. If you're from the planet Krypton and I am definitely nervous about residency. All these questions running through my head, am I ready? But we have to trust the process. We have to trust that UTMB has given us the tools that we need to accomplish the next 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years. Sorry, Bashal and Heather. 7 years. And we are ready for what comes ahead. You have to trust yourself. I want everybody right now to repeat, I can do it. Repeat. You have to believe it. You can accomplish it. You did not get this far to be overwhelmed by your fear. Know that you can do it. Success requires surprise and for you to feel uncomfortable. And the last part of my speech, this is the easier part. I can breathe a little bit. This is personal anecdotes. I started medical school. I will never forget coming to medical school. We lined up. We had our white coat. Dr. Goodgame was our speaker. Gave us a lovely speech. And I'll never forget, I took my picture and looked at it. And our white coat was so excited. And I said to myself, I will look different when I leave here. And I'm going to ask my class a question. Do I look the same as when I came in, or do I look different? And for people in the audience who don't understand what this means, I began medical school at 365 pounds. Currently, I stand before you at 245. I tell you this because sometimes, especially surrounded by all of these intelligent people, all we talk about is medicine and professional stuff and all these different kind of things. But sometimes in life, your biggest challenges will not be professional. They'll be personal. We will have to sacrifice so much and be up late and arise early. And our personal challenges may sometimes get the best of us. Also, I know my parents, my mom and dad, I'm very, very happy for all their support. Believe it or not, they probably would not have imagined that I would be standing here speaking. And you would say, why? Well, because I used to take speech classes. I had an intense stutter, could not get out my words. The most frustrating thing is to have something built up in you internally and not be able to get it out. Very, very frustrating. And I took classes, persevered. So I tell you this because sometimes, again, the personal challenges will overwhelm the professional ones sometimes. Success requires change. So for the class of 2017, for us to accomplish our goals from here to now and in the future, we will have to make a decision, be committed and dedicated, know that there will be some surprises, and for us, we will feel uncomfortable at times. But know that you can make the changes that you have set out to do. I just want to say, before I close, you guys are intelligent people. I'm so inspired by you all. You all motivate me to become better. I look at all of you all the time, and I say to myself, man, how can I be like Taylor? Stands in front of the class and really just gives those speeches. How can I be like Chris and work out? How can I be like Joelle and really just push forward and persevere and maintain my beliefs? I just named a few of my classmates. But so many of you all have been an inspiration to me, and you will never know how you have changed my life. Thank you for allowing me to speak. I'm happy to be your class speaker this year. Now let's become doctors.
Well, there you go. That's the kind of energy we need for this grand event. As of 2017, the moment that you've worked so hard for is about to begin, the awarding of the diplomas. Dr. Linda Phillips, who's professor of surgery and also chief of our division of plastic surgery, will read the names of the graduates. Dr. Jeffrey Rayback will help me present the diplomas. In order for the names to be heard clearly, I please ask you to do everything you can to hold all of the applause until all of the degrees have been conferred and the graduates return to their seats. Now, in recognition of academic excellence, some students have been designated for graduation with honors. The highest 15% of the graduating class is awarded 3 levels of academic honors. Of these, the top 2% are awarded summa cum laude, the next 5% magna cum laude, and the remaining 8% cum laude. The doctoral hood to be placed on the shoulders of the graduates signifies their academic achievement. The class of 2017 has selected 4 faculty members to conduct the hooding ceremony. These faculty members were chosen by the graduating class in recognition of their outstanding contributions to their education. This year's faculty hooders are Dr. Jose Barral, professor in our Department of Neuroscience and Cell Biology, Dr. Michael Boyers, professor in the Department of Internal Medicine, Dr. Richard Coggeshall, professor in our Department of Neuroscience and Cell Biology, and Dr. Bernard Carnath, professor in our Department of Internal Medicine. Now, will the members of the class of 2017 please stand? Dr. Callender, as Dean of the Faculty of Medicine, I would like to present to you the candidates for the degree Doctor of Medicine who have satisfactorily completed the prescribed curriculum and who have been certified by the faculty for conferring of the degree Doctor of Medicine.
By virtue of the authority vested in the Board of Regents of the University of Texas System, I hereby confer upon you the degree Doctor of Medicine, with all rights, responsibilities, and obligations pertaining thereto. Congratulations.
Graduates, please be seated. Dr. Phillips, will the graduates please come forward? Graduates will have their picture taken as they receive the degree. These pictures will be given to them as a gift from us. Graduates wearing a green, white, and gold cord have been elected to Alpha Omega Alpha, the only National Honor Medical Society. Only the top 6 of the graduating class are eligible to be elected to AOA. Members are chosen based on their academic excellence, service, accomplishments, and demonstrated professionalism. The Texas Alpha chapter of AOA at UTMB, founded in 1920, is the oldest chapter in the state. Students wearing the gold cord are members of the Gold Humanism Honor Society. They were chosen for this honor by fellow students based on their demonstration of excellence in clinical care, leadership, compassion, and dedication to service. 6 members of the class of 2017 will receive the Doctor of Philosophy degree concurrent with their degree Doctor of Medicine, 4 of which were participants in our UT Austin and UTMB dual degree program. Their PhDs were recognized in Austin. These graduates will receive a special medallion presented by the interim director of the MD-PhD combined degree program, Dr. Jose Barral. Now, let's have another round of applause, please, for the doctors. And I think we're ready to begin.
It is my honor to be the first to get to call each of you doctor. Dr. DeMarcus E. Bayman, summa cum laude. Dr. Bayman completed the Translational Research Scholars Program. He is the recipient of the Gold-Headed Cane Award, the scholarship from the Campbell family in honor of Winfield M. Campbell, Jr., MD, the Curtis W. Lambert Scholarship, and the Merck Manual Award. Dr. Morgan Fissler, cum laude. Dr. Fissler completed the Global Health Scholars Program. She is a Gold-Headed Cane Award finalist, received AMLA's Glasgow Rubin Achievement Citation and the John P. McGovern Academy of Solarian Medicine Student Award. Dr. Atul Gupta. Dr. Gupta completed the Scope Scholars Program and was a finalist of the Gold-Headed Cane Award. Dr. Cesar Agustin Perez. Dr. Perez completed the Scope Scholars Program and is a Gold-Headed Cane Award finalist. Dr. James Truong, summa cum laude. Dr. Truong completed both the Scope and Physician Healer Scholars programs. He's a Gold-Headed Cane Award finalist, Mavis P. Kelsey Scholar, Merck Manual Award recipient, and recipient of the Benny O. White, MD, and Irene C. White Presidential Scholarship. Dr. Carlos Chavez, Jr. Dr. Matthew James Mackay, summa cum laude, the William N. and Ida Zinn Alpha Omega Alpha Award recipient, also the Campbell Family Scholarship in honor of Winfield M. Campbell, Jr., MD, and the Edward Randall Medal for Academic Excellence. Dr. Farah Ibba Faraj. Dr. Shruti Hemath Agashe. Dr. Agashe completed the Translational Research Scholars Program and received the American Academy of Neurology Medical Student Prize for Excellence in Neurology. Dr. Helen Anyecha Ajufo. Dr. Ajufo completed the Bilingual Health Scholars Program. Dr. Hiba Tahir Ali, magna cum laude. Dr. Ali completed both the Scope and Global Health Scholars programs and the AMWA Glasgow Rubin Achievement Citation. She is hooded by her brother, Dr. Jawad Ali. Dr. Simon Allo Allo. Dr. Arsalan Amin. Dr. Jamile Amori. Dr. Amori completed the Physician Healer Scholars Program. She received the Hamilton Ford Award for Psychiatry in Medicine. Dr. Angela K. Andrus. Dr. Megan Antonetti Elford. Dr. Antonetti Elford completed the Physician Healer Scholars Program and received the Hambrock McGanity Award in Obstetrics and Gynecology. Dr. Amir Saeed Anvari. Dr. Joseph William Barwat. Dr. Barwat completed the Global Health Scholars Program. Dr. Denise Numuli Badauka. Dr. Badauka completed the Global Health Scholars Program and received the William H. Nash, MD, Endowed Award in Obstetrics and Gynecology. Dr. Taylor Francis Bauman. Dr. Bauman completed both the Scope and Global Health Scholars programs and is a student scholar in the John P. McGovern Academy of Oslarian Medicine. Dr. Michael Patrick Beitzel, receiving the Hermit A. Barnett Memorial Award. Dr. Ragini Bhushan. Dr. Sarah Emily Biggs. Dr. Biggs completed the Physician Healer Scholars Program. Dr. Archie Bernard Bowie II. Dr. Reese Leland Boyd. Dr. Catherine Esther Brand. Dr. Brand completed the Global Health Scholars Program. Dr. Sarah Elizabeth Bredesen. Dr. Bredesen completed the Global Health Scholars Program. Dr. David Colin Brown. Dr. Anna Helena Buteau. Dr. Don Clarence Bywater. Dr. Roosevelt Bissant Campbell. Dr. Campbell completed the Global Health Scholars Program. Dr. Ashundra Charday Castle. Dr. Justin Joseph Sagalski. Dr. James Victor Chang. Dr. Ahmed Tarek Shatila, winning the Best Original Essay Award for Skin Diseases Depicted in Cinema. Dr. Jin Hyuk Choi. Dr. Nicole Alicia Christians. Dr. Brandy Nicole Clark. Dr. Tamer Dea Jacob Dafashi, winner of the Herman A. Barnett Memorial Award. He will be hooded by his father, Dr. Dea Dafashi. Dr. Megan Christine Daubert. Dr. Andrew Joseph DeCrescendo. Dr. Elizabeth De La Rosa. Dr. De La Rosa completed the Bilingual Health Scholars Program. Dr. Aiden Luis De Leon. Dr. Luis Alexander Diab. Dr. Diab completed the Physician Healer Scholars Program. Dr. Ebony Chinyari Dikas. Dr. Alexander Scott Doxey, magna cum laude, Division of Emergency Medicine Student Award, hooded by his brother, Dr. Richmond Doxey. Dr. Stephen Neil Dragosalovich, cum laude, hooded by his father, Dr. Mitty Dragosalovich. Dr. Aaron Fluke Dunlop. Dr. Joel Imwatian Edianowe, hooded by his sister, Dr. Mercy Edianowe, and sister, Dr. Susan Edianowe. Dr. Jillian Ayora Adosawan. Dr. Matthew Lewis Edwards, Jr. Dr. Edwards participated in the Honors Research Program and graduated summa cum laude, receiving the Ivan Bruce Memorial Award and the Dean's Award for Research Excellence. Dr. Chica Victoria Ebbe, Lefebvre Scholar in Gerontology. Dr. Chiamiziam Good Eka, Lefebvre Scholar in Gerontology. Dr. Kelsey Christine English, cum laude. Dr. Christopher Michael Fatora. Dr. Cyrus Ali Faizpour, the Edward Randall Medal for Academic Excellence. Dr. Abigail Erin Forbes, magna cum laude, winning AMLA's Glasgow Rubin Achievement Citation, the Herman A. Barnett Memorial Award, and 6 more years on Galveston. Dr. Mark Robert Fowler, the L. Clark Stout Jr. Award for Excellence in Pathology. Dr. Mark Lee Francis. Dr. Carlos Rena Garcia, the Herman A. Barnett Memorial Award. Dr. David Lee Garrett. Dr. Ana Alicia Garza. Dr. Renessa Lee Gearhart. Dr. Gearhart completed the Global Health Scholars Program. Dr. Christina Lene Gleghorn. Dr. Gleghorn participated in the Honors Research Program, graduating magna cum laude, received the Dean's Award for Research Excellence and the Edgar B. Smith Endowed Scholarship in Dermatology. Dr. Mary Elizabeth Gomez. Dr. Gomez completed the Scope Scholars Program and is a student scholar in the John P. McGovern Academy of Oslarian Medicine. Dr. Ashley Victoria Gordine. Dr. Francisco Guerra, Jr. Dr. Joshua Vishal Gunpat. Dr. Gunpat completed both the Scope and Physician Healer Scholars programs. Dr. Audrey Rochelle Gutierrez. Dr. Gutierrez completed the Scope Scholars program. Dr. James Albert Gush. Dr. Trang Tracy Howe. Dr. Ashley Francis Halbert. Dr. Halbert completed both the Scope and Physician Healer Scholars programs. Dr. Angie Hamwi, Student Scholar in the John P. McGovern Academy of Oslarian Medicine. Dr. Jihad Mohammed Harmouche. Dr. Samuel Paul Haslam, magna cum laude, the Edward Randall Medal for Academic Excellence. Dr. Shruti Ramesh Hegde, cum laude. Dr. Aaron K. Heimbach, cum laude, Amwes Glasgow Rubin Achievement Citation and the John P. McGovern Practice of Medicine for Oslarian Essay Award winner. Dr. Cameron Allen Hess. Dr. Joseph Leo Hesse. Dr. Malone Vincent Hill III, hooded by his father, Dr. Malone Hill Jr. Dr. Mark Stephen Hill. Dr. Daniel James Hoppy. Dr. Catherine Elizabeth Horton. Dr. Horton completed the Scope and Physician Healer Scholars Program and received the Benny O. White, MD, and Irene C. White Presidential Scholarship. Dr. Justin Li Fong Shu. Dr. Mary Baluwatifa Idowo. Dr. Farouk Gabriel Ikram, hooded by Dr. Noreen Butte, his mother. Dr. Tracy Ivane Contreras Isidro, Interprofessional Education Scholar. Dr. Kevin Shajan Itti. Dr. Prashant Sritharan Ayur. Dr. Priyanka Jain. Dr. Jain completed the Scope Scholars Program and is an interprofessional education scholar. Dr. Sean Ruthan Javaji. Dr. Cody Brandon Jew. Dr. Jack Alston Johnson. Dr. Jeffrey Allen Jones. Dr. Taya Basharowicz Johnson. Dr. Isha Call. Dr. Call completed the Scope and Physician Healer Scholars Program, participated in the Honors Research Program, and graduated from that magna cum laude. Dr. Naveed Kareem Kanji, magna cum laude. Dr. Brandon Kyle Kimbrell. Dr. Ryan Douglas Kimbrough. Dr. Kimbrough completed the Physician Healer Scholars Program and received the John P. McGovern Practice of Medicine for Oslarian Essay Award. Dr. Olivia Precious Kizzy. Dr. Leah Anna Kohler. Dr. Clayton Frederick Coley. Dr. Stephen Constantine. Dr. Naina Lalani, summa cum laude, Amwes Glasgow Rubin Achievement Award Citation, the Isabella H. Brackenridge Scholarship, and recipient of the Edward Randall Medal for Academic Excellence. Dr. Caroline Macy Lamb. Dr. Roxanne April Lamar. Dr. Lamar completed the Physician Healer Scholars Program, received the Hambrock McGanity Award in Obstetrics and Gynecology and is hooded by her mother, Dr. Louise Lamar. Dr. Raymond Andrew LeBlanc. Dr. Bailey Ann LeConte. Dr. Brian Sung-Jun Lee. Dr. Lee completed the Translational Research Scholars Program. Dr. Melanie Elise Levy. Dr. Levy completed the Physician Healer Scholars Program and is hooded by her father, Dr. Ronald Levy. Dr. Will Wenyuan Liu. Dr. Elizabeth Flora Lopez. Dr. Lopez completed the Scope Scholars Program, received the John P. McGovern Practice of Medicine III Professional Essay Award and the W.D. and Laura Nell Nicholson Award in Family Medicine. Dr. Young Hung Mak. Dr. Pollyann Ihuoma McClayton, History of Dermatology Award and the L. Clark Stout Jr. Award for Excellence in Pathology. Dr. Shelby McRae. Dr. Samson McConan. Dr. McConan completed the Scope Scholars Program. Dr. David Spencer Marsh. Dr. Marsh completed the Bilingual Health Scholars Program and received the John P. McGovern Academy of Oslarian Medicine Award for Excellence in Basic Science or Humanities Selective Essay. Dr. Kelly Ann Martinez. Dr. Alexandra Nicole Martirosian, who is hooded by her mother, Dr. Maria Alls. Dr. Candace Elise Bailey Mason, magna cum laude, Amwes Glasgow Rubin Achievement Citation recipient, student scholar in the John P. McGovern Academy of Oslarian Medicine, hooded by her father, Dr. Ron Bailey. Dr. Elizabeth Ann May, cum laude. Dr. May completed both the Scope and Physician Healer Scholars Program, received Amwes Glasgow Rubin Achievement Citation, Distinguished Student Award in Pediatrics, the Claire Donovan Medical Education Scholarship, and the William Todd Midget Scholar. Dr. Anam Miraj. Dr. Miraj completed the Scope Scholars Program. Dr. Mercy Warriori Misoy. Dr. Misoy completed the Global Health Scholars Program. Dr. Sean Parrish Modi. Dr. Kranasa Nessa Moapur. Dr. Moapur completed the Physician Healer Scholars Program and is hooded by her sister, Dr. Roya Clemens. Dr. Sina Monjazeb, cum laude, recipient of the Thomas W. Fries Memorial Award for Excellence in Dermatology and the Interprofessional Education Scholar. Dr. Montserrat Montesinos. Dr. Montesinos completed the Global Health Scholars Program and is hooded by her father, Dr. Jose Manuel Montesinos. Dr. Zaquil Jennings Morgan. Dr. Morgan completed the Scope Scholars Program. Dr. Allison Elizabeth Mullins, Herman A. Barnett Memorial Award. Dr. Charles Meyer Mullins. Dr. Ashley Janie Marilla. Dr. Shruti Nabor. Dr. Nabor completed the Physician Healer Scholars Program. Dr. Jared Michael Nathanson, magna cum laude, hooded by his father, Dr. Stephen Nathanson. Dr. Hunter Kate Neely. Dr. Victoria Jane Nettles. Dr. Christopher Wylam Ing. Dr. Bao Nak Din Win. Dr. Lindsay Denise Norn. Dr. Justin Nahamin Noruzian. Dr. Hannah Olatobosun Obayaban. Dr. Obayaban is hooded by Dr. Sarah Ogun, her sister. Dr. Robert Abraham Obeid. Dr. Crystal Chioma Obiogzor, hooded by her sister, Dr. Cynthia Obiogzor. Dr. Gladys Chinamso Agbana. Dr. Ngozi Uloma Okorofu. Dr. Okorofu is hooded by her sister, Dr. Adama Okorafor. Dr. Alberto Oseguera. Dr. Lizzie Mariel Paniagua, hooded by her father, Dr. David Paniagua. Dr. Emma Caroline Panico, cum laude. Dr. Mohsin Pasha. Dr. Palak Virendra Kumar Patel. Dr. Vishal Jitendra Patel. Dr. Jillian Faith Patton. Dr. Patton completed the Public Health Scholars Program and received the John P. Govern Practice of Medicine I Professionalism Essay Award. Dr. Irene Christina Pedraza. Dr. Destiny Pegram. Dr. Pegram completed the Geriatric Health Scholars Program. Dr. Cassandra Elizabeth Picar. Dr. Jordan Dean Pitt. Dr. Eric Franklin Pittman. Dr. Andrea Klein Purpura. Dr. Purpura completed the Scope Scholars Program and received the Society for Academic Emergency Medicine Excellence in Emergency Medicine Award. Dr. Russell Dillon Purpura. Dr. Purpura completed the Scope Scholars Program. Dr. Stephanie Ann Ramirez. Dr. Sydney Elima Ramirez, Blocker Scholar. Dr. Ramirez received the Doctor of Philosophy degree from UTMB May 19, 2017, in connection with the MD-PhD combined program, is hooded by her mother, Dr. Marcia Ehinger. Dr. Alicia K. Rink. Dr. Abigail Barbara Richardson, hooded by her mother, Dr. Marilyn Marks. Dr. Russell Rourke, Marcel Patterson Prize in Gastroenterology recipient. Dr. John Douglas Robinson, Jr., cum laude, the Edward Randall Medal for Academic Excellence, hooded by his sister, Dr. Jacqueline Robinson. Dr. Courtney Michelle Robinson. Dr. Robinson completed the Public Health Scholars Program. Dr. Alejandro Robles, summa cum laude, recipient of the Jack B. Alprin, MD Award for Excellence in Internal Medicine. Dr. George Roman. Dr. John Andrew Rosner. Dr. Nicolas Ruiz. Dr. Ruiz completed both the Scope and Global Health Scholars programs. Dr. Jubin Sadigan. Dr. Sadigan completed the Physician Healer Scholars program. Dr. Juan Jorge Saenz, Jr. Dr. Saenz completed the Bilingual Health Scholars program and is hooded by his father, Dr. J.J. Saenz, and sister, Dr. Jennifer Saenz. Dr. Ronald Erastus Samuel. Dr. Samuel completed the Physician Healer Scholars program and received the Merck Manual Award. Dr. Astini Widiyawati Sanyoto, hooded by her sister, Dr. Penny Sanyoto. Dr. Stephen Lee Sarton, Jr., recipient of the Melvin H. Schreiber Award for Radiology Excellence and is hooded by his sister, Dr. Rebecca Sarton. Dr. Benjamin Ari Satterfield, Blocker Scholar. Dr. Satterfield received the Doctor of Philosophy degree from UTMB May 19, 2017, in connection with the MD-PhD combined program. Dr. Ramon Patricio Saucedo, Jr. Dr. Scott Seper Shafi'i. Dr. Jonathan McLean Shields. Dr. Ginny Elizabeth Sibby. Dr. Sibby completed both the Scope and Physician Healer Scholars programs. Dr. Gurbans Singh Sidhu. Dr. Eric Martin Seeloff. Dr. Christopher Robert Smith. Dr. Heather Lynn Smith, cum laude. Dr. Smith received the Doctor of Philosophy degree from the University of Texas, Austin, August 17, 2015, in connection with the UT Austin and UTMB PhD combined degree program. Jeffrey Michael Smith. Dr. Jeffrey Michael Smith. I have 6 years to fix that one. He's cum laude and 6 more years on Galveston. Dr. Kyle Robert Spencer. Dr. David King Stevens. Dr. Sean Craig Stout, summa cum laude, hooded by his brother, Dr. Evan Stout. Dr. Rachel Dawn Steyer. Dr. Steyer completed the Scopes Scholar Program. Dr. Diego Armando Suarez, cum laude. Dr. David John Zaffron, magna cum laude. Dr. Viba Ucharya Zaffron, cum laude. Amwes Glasgow Rubin Achievement Citation and Merck Manual Award recipient, hooded by her father, Dr. Siddhartha Acharya, and brother, Dr. Vinay Acharya. Dr. Irma Ochoa Tamayo. Dr. Tamayo completed the Bilingual Health Scholars Program. Dr. Tyler Nathaniel Touch. Dr. David Ryland Thornbury, cum laude, TCEP Outstanding Medical Student Award. Dr. John Mark Toline. Dr. Ernest Yu-Heen Tong. Dr. Victoria Yurievna Topper. Cum laude, Dr. Topper received the Doctor of Philosophy degree from the University of Texas, Austin, May 23, 2015, in connection with the UT Austin and UTMB MD PhD combined program. Dr. Ann Tran. Cum laude. Dr. Joseph Michael Trapasso. Dr. Tabitha Novell Trapasso. Dr. J. Michael Truitt, Seymour Fisher Academic Award in Neuroscience, receiving the Doctor of Philosophy degree from the University of Texas, Austin, August 17, 2015, in connection with the UT Austin and UTMB MD PhD combined program. Dr. Van Din Truong. Dr. Truong completed the Physician Healer Scholars Program and is hooded by his father, Dr. Luan Truong. Dr. Jessica Ijama Ubaniyun. Dr. Ubaniyun is a recipient of the John P. McGovern Practice of Medicine for Oslarian Essay Award. Dr. Chinyere Anwi Ugwezo. Dr. Ugwezo completed both the SCOPE and Physician Healer Scholars programs. Dr. Kurt Allen Van Wagenen. Dr. Daniel Varela, Jr. Dr. Rennie Marathi Kudil Varghese. Dr. Varghese completed both the SCOPE and Physician Healer Scholars programs. Dr. Micah Martin Vaughn, Hambrock McGanity Award in Obstetrics and Gynecology. Dr. Uparajit Ram Venkateswaran. Dr. Alexander Villalobos, hooded by his mother, Dr. Elena Birdsong, and father, Dr. Luis Villalobos. Dr. Benjamin Frank Villarreal. Dr. Villarreal completed the Aerospace Medicine Scholars Program and is hooded by his mother, Dr. Maria Leticia Villarreal. Dr. Sarah Amy Westergaard. Dr. Wesley Arthur White. Dr. Lauren Ashley Williams, hooded by her father, Dr. Balmore Williams. Dr. Taylor Price Williams, recipient of the Herman A. Barnett Memorial Award. Dr. Destiny Deshawn Wilson. Dr. Kelsey Lane Wise, magna cum laude, recipient of AMWA's Glasgow Rubin Achievement Citation, the John P. McGovern Practice of Medicine 3 Professionalism Essay Award, hooded by her sister, Dr. Brittany Wise. Dr. Grace Elizabeth Woods. Dr. Irwin Shaw. Dr. Rami William Tofik Zaza. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Now, Dr. Russell Snyder, Associate Professor and Vice Chair in our Department of Obstetrics and Gynecology, will lead this year's military commissioning ceremony. Dr. Snyder?
Thank you. I'm Dr. and Colonel Russell Snyder, and welcome to the 17th Annual Commissioning Ceremony. I'd like to thank Drs. Callender and Dean Jacobs for allowing us to do this at the same time as graduation. This commissioning ceremony is a time-honored tradition. It signifies a new officer joining the profession of arms, and this ceremony is the visible transformation of student to commissioned officer, just as this commencement ceremony is the visible transformation from student to physician. And as they take the oath of office, they swear to support and defend the Constitution of the United States. And as newly commissioned officers, they become an agent of the executive branch of the government appointed by the president. These physicians are going to be entering military service to their country. They're going to be taking care of all the needs of all of our soldiers, airmen, sailors, Marines, and their families as well. So at this point in time, I'd like to invite the soon-to-be Captains Bredesen and Picard to come on up to the stage. Great. We're going to go ahead and do the oath of office. I, and state your name. Having been appointed a captain in the United States Army, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I take this obligation freely, without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office upon which I am about to enter. So help me God. Congratulations. We're also going to invite families up to actually pin on the rank of captain. For Captain Bredesen, it's her father, Richard. And for Captain Picard, wife Heather, and grandparents Jerry and Judy Siegel. Congratulations. And now I'd like to invite our soon-to-be lieutenants, Drs. Halbert, Idowu, and Coley, to come front and center. If you raise your right hand. I state your name. Having been appointed a lieutenant in the United States Navy, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I take this obligation freely, without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office upon which I am about to enter. So help me God. Congratulations. And to pin these new officers on for Drs. Halbert, it will be Father James and Mother Jeannie. For Dr. Iduwo, her father Ezekiel, Mother Lucy, and Sister Florence. And for Dr. Coley, wife Katie, and son Case, and Father Ralph.
All right, will the doctors please rise? Dr. Jose Barral will administer the physician's oath to the graduating class. The gavel being used is made from wood of the oriental plane tree under which Hippocrates is said to have taught on the island of Kos. This particular gavel is a gift from the late Dr. Robert Cherry from our class of 1925.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me, loudly. I do solemnly swear by whatever I hold most sacred.
I do solemnly swear by whatever I hold most sacred.
That I will be loyal to the profession of medicine and just and generous to its members.
That I will be loyal to the profession of medicine and just and generous to its members.
That I will live my life and practice my profession in uprightness and honor.
That I will lead my life and practice my profession in uprightness and honor.
That into whatsoever house I shall enter, it shall be for the good of the sick to the utmost of my power, holding myself far aloof from wrong, from corruption, from the tempting of others to vice.
That into whatsoever house I shall enter, it shall be for the good of the sick to the utmost of my power, holding myself far aloof from wrong, from corruption, from the tempting of others to vice.
That I will exercise my profession solely for the cure of my patients, and will give no drug, perform no operation for a criminal purpose, even if solicited, far less suggested.
That I will exercise my profession solely for the cure of my patients, and will give no drug, perform no operation for a criminal purpose, even if solicited, far less suggested.
That I will deal truthfully with my patients, respecting their autonomy.
That I will deal truthfully with my patients, respecting their autonomy.
That whatsoever I shall see or hear of the lives of men, which is not fitting to be spoken, I will keep inviolably secret. These things do I swear.
That whatsoever I shall see or hear of the lives of men, which is not fitting to be spoken, I will keep inviolably secret. These things do I swear.
And now, should I be true to this, my oath, May prosperity and good repute be ever mine. The opposite, should I prove myself forsworn.
And now, should I be true to this, my oath, may prosperity and good repute be ever mine. The opposite, should I prove myself forsworn.
Congratulations, physicians.
Wonderful. All right, audience, will you please stand and join Syncope in singing The Eyes of Texas?
The eyes of Texas are upon you all the livelong day. The eyes of Texas are upon you. You cannot get away. Oh, do not think you can escape them. Not from the night so early in the morn. The eyes of Texas are upon you. Till Gabriel blows his horn.
Thank you, Syncope. Following the benediction, we ask the audience to remain seated until the faculty members and graduates have recessed.
My friend, Scripture reminds us that when the people had gathered together and returned to their homes, they were a blessing to all who were around them. Supreme Architect of the universe, as we part from this grand celebration, may it be with your choicest blessing. Grant that the efforts that brought us to this day may be only the beginnings of outstanding future endeavors. Bless these new physicians, that they come to grow and serve in their life-saving callings. And as you have permitted us to gather together in peace and celebration and harmony, so may we also return to our homes equally blessed and more so. And in the words of the Scripture, may the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord cause the light of his countenance to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. And may God's presence always dwell with you, granting you long life, health, happiness, and most especially peace. Amen.
Okay. Audience, please be seated.